How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing: always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about Lucid Group. So we ended up having a green day inside of the market. And remember when I was talking about inside of the technicals, we have an area of resistance right at $45, and we ended up closing the day at $44.98. So one thing that is very clear, there are many traders that are watching this level, and we also could chalk it up to the market makers as well. We also did see, as far as for the EV sector as a whole, it was booming. So I just want to make sure that you guys know what is going on, and Lucid was able to benefit from this. But I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder or you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is the technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. The reason why this is important, I want to make sure you have a strategy if you're going to be trading this play and know what it looks like in a bearish case scenario and as well as in a bullish case scenario. And then we're going to go on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information. The reason why the short interest is important, because it does have an impact on the way the stock performs. And then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know what was the buying and the selling behavior like on the retail side and as well as on the institutional side. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to do a technical analysis for Lucid. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $44.98, being up 10.38%. On the low, it tested $41.74, and then on the high, testing $45.75. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 69.35 million shares, and for the average volume over 10 trading days being at 102.381 million shares. So even though we didn't come anywhere close to what our average volume is, we still saw some strength inside of the stock. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is the daily chart, you can see from the RSI down below, it is at 73.66. And when we take a look at our moving averages, we have strength above the 100-day, the 200-day, the 50-day, and as well as the 21-day EMA. So like I was talking about in the previous video, we wanted to see Lucid hold up at least the $40 level. And it was able to do that, but even better, it was able to hold up $41.74 when it ended up having a pullback. We also ended up seeing a high of $45.75, and remember what I said yesterday, that the $45 area is an area of resistance for Lucid. The fact that it closed right at $44.98, I am not surprised about whatsoever. So as far as going into tomorrow, what you'd want to see is a continuation. So you're going to want to see it actually hold up here right around the $42 level, or $42.32 to be exact. I feel like that would be the most ideal, or right here around $42.63. If we're able to hold up these levels, then of course I could see us making a strong move to where we could start getting to the $46 range, and then of course we'd have some resistance here right at that $48 level. If we do decide to end up pulling back though, then of course we want to go back to see, hey, will $40 actually continue to hold up? And if it doesn't hold up, we can already see where it can go from there, testing into the 39s and as well as the 38s. So let's see how Lucid performs going into tomorrow. So we're going to take a look at the short interest information for Lucid. So we can see for the dark pool short volume ratio being at 44.19%, and then for the dark pool short volume being just over 18.7 million shares. Scrolling down further on the page, the short shares availability is at 4 million, updated 12 minutes ago, and for the short borrow fee rate, it is at 0.64%. As we scroll down further, taking a look at the history of the short volume ratio, we can see for the close of the 9th, it was 43.26, and then for the close of the 10th, which was yesterday, being at 44.19. So what this tells us right away, there's a lot of negative market sentiment around Lucid stock. But one thing that is clear, it still continues to have short squeeze potential, and we have seen an increase in the short interest. So continue to keep this play on the watch list because it has been trading beautifully for all of my traders out there. So now let's jump into the order flow distribution. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for Lucid. So we can see here on the inflow, it was 748, and then on the outflow, it was 587. When we take a look at the breakdown, you can see on the large, it was 11.20. On the medium, it was 401, and then on the small, it was 336. When we take a look at the outflow side, we had 0 on the large. On the medium, we had 318, and then on the small, we had 268. When we take a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see for today, November the 11th, we have that 11.2 million. So there is definitely a lot of demand for Lucid shares in the market today. So when we take a look at the breakdown, what we could see on the small, we had more buying than we had selling. When we take a look at the medium, we had more buying than we had selling. And when we take a look at the large, we had institutions loading up on shares potentially with 11.20 million. That's just crazy. Now, when we take a look at the turnover ratio, it was actually at 4.30%. And you know what? This is not too bad, but what it does tell us, there's a lot of traders that are inside of this play. So keeping that in mind, this is why there's so much volatility when you combine that alongside with the short interest. So now let's jump into the final thoughts and we'll go over some more details as well. So for my final thoughts for Lucid Group, it's definitely going to be interesting going into tomorrow and as well as for next week. On Monday, Joe Biden is going to be having the signing ceremony for the infrastructure bill. So I know a lot of EV stocks, they were racing today, and also infrastructure related stocks as well. So this is why you want to continue to keep Lucid on your watch list, especially if you're a trader wanting to make money off of the volatility. Another thing is, when we went on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information, Lucid does continue to have short squeeze potential, but of course, this is of no surprise. You can see it overall from the price action. We also did see there was a lot of demand for shares. There was a lot of buying. So we want to see a continuation of that. But like I said, going into Friday, it's going to be a volatile day. Like I said, we saw a lot of gains overall. Now, as far as for the price action is concerned, I talked about why it was key for Lucid to hold up the $40 level. So going into tomorrow, you're going to want to see a continuation of holding up whether it's $40 or $41 if it decides to pull back. If we end up having a lot of buying pressure coming into the open for tomorrow, especially since we have the signing on the Monday, I would not be shocked to see Lucid actually get past that $45 resistance and try to test around 48 and then seeing where we can go from there. But keep in mind, this is going to be dependent on volume. It has to be there because we do have that resistance and we're trying to make that move going to $50. I know many of you are looking forward to that, even going to $50 plus. Like I said, I'm going to be keeping my eye on that and I'm going to be trading off of that. But overall, in general, please do your homework and as well as your due diligence before you get into this play. Have a strategy, have a game plan laid out. The reason why this is essential, the last thing that I want you guys to do is go inside trading in the market and you're not prepared. You want to know what your entry is going to be. You want to know what your exit's going to be. And also on top of that, figure out what your intentions are going to be. Are you going to be an investor or are you going to be a trader? How long are you planning to hold? This is very crucial before you jump into this play. From an investment standpoint, I will not be purchasing shares at the current prices of where Lucid is at, but I will be focusing on trading this play all the way through, and I'll be taking those profits and making sure that I'm building up my cash position so I can get Lucid at a better price later on. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and we'll be talking real soon.